Hello, it's Elaina Strongbow from SodaTutorials.com. Elaina's main game name, and today I'm in as Eleanor, which usually means when I'm in with Eleanor, I'm doing a series on new player stuff. She's my new player kind of character I kind of wipe and use and redo. So I'm making some content that's really focused on the specific mechanics in the game, how to do and interact with certain things. So I'm making smaller sets of videos on very focused topics to help new players as they come into the game as the game comes close to final release. So today what I want to talk about are friends and your friends list and that kind of stuff. Once again, not a sexy mechanics that can make you a better fighter, but it's a mechanic you have to understand. It is a very social game. Whether you're in a guild or talking to people, you need to be able to do that. And there's some ties that into the game that are important as well. So if you go up into the right screen, the window selector, you can actually see what some windows you can open up. Your social, which is what your friends window is called social. Typically, by default now, it's left control. Yeah, the control key on the left side. So left control F. I get rid of those. It's just the way I've been used to it since the game started. I get rid of the left control and just have the F key. So I can click on this here, or I can just hit the F key, then it can come up and come up. By default, you'll be control left control F. So, first thing, let's talk about the tabs that are in here. Now, you won't see a guild unless you're in there. So you have your friends tab. These are all the friends you have in the game. The people who are online are in bright white and at the top of the list. The people who are offline that are in your friends list will be down below that in alphabetical order. At the very bottom will be some yellow ones if you have them. If you've asked for a friend and they haven't accepted yet, then they'll appear down here as yellow. It means you've invited them, but you haven't. You can right click on it and say remove friend, and that'll drop that invite off the list on there as well. So you see someone in game and you want to friend them. The easiest way to do that is to right click on them with the cursor. Right click and you can add friend. If they talk to you in local chat, you can come to like Sin here. This person had talked to me earlier. I can right click on them and say add friend. Now that is going to put it down here in the yellow part of the list. There it is. Until Sin actually accepts my friends or declines it or does whatever on that. So that's how you can add people to this list. If you know someone's name, you can also add them right here in the list. Now I know Atos is one of the developers in the game, so I don't have him on my friends list. He may or may not add me. But I'm going to put in Atos. I know his name. I'm going to spell it. I'm going to hit enter, and it's added it to the list here. So you can do it right here, in the box if you know how to spell it. You've got to get the spelling correctly on it though. So next part of the list, who's in your party? It's a very short one. To be honest, I never go in there because as you add party members, they're all down the left here, so I know what they are and I can right click on it. I never go into this tab. I just never do. You could invite a player to a party in here, but typically we invite them off a chat, or I invite them off my friends list, or I invite them by right clicking on here. I just never been in here. I typically am in here, and if not in here, I will be in the Sin's accepted. So you can see that that's popped there. In fact, I can see it in here. Sin has added you to his or her friends list. Sweet. So guild. If you're in a guild, all your guild members will appear in here. Same thing, whites are online, grays aren't. And you can interact with them. You can say, hey, I want to whisper to them or invite to a party, drop them as a friend, view or edit a note, put a note on them. Let's say Eleanor Strongbow. Where's Elaina? Elena's my main character. Here's my note on Elaina Strongbow. She is awesome. I think that's it. Now, if I go back here and say view or edit note, she is awesome. I can put that in there. Why would you put notes about character? I don't know. It's maybe someone owes you some money. Maybe you do it like you got people you loan stuff out and you want to do that. And Dread Pirate, he was just added to my to an inn as a apartment, a rental. So is part of Owl's Head, OH Inn, paid 6 photos through Feb 2018. There we go. So I put a note on them. So you can track notes on your characters. Something you want to ask them, something. You can do it. To be honest, I've never done it because I have nothing that kind of says, oh, I've got like a follow-up. Hey, go check this note or something else. But one of the things I may do is if you can't do is you have some character like, I think, who's in here? Well, I can actually do Elaina because that's definitely, I can do something that's a little bit more meaningful, even though it's just myself. I can actually do note. Great person for bows. So she's a person that I'd go to if I need a bow or something on there. You can put a note. So if you try finding people, you can leave little notes on it. So what else? You can, if you're an officer in a guild, then you have other guild functions. So right now I'm not. I'm just a regular member. While Elaina is an officer, she would have more options that would be on there. So yeah, so that's the mechanics of the friends list. Nothing super hard on there. I've never clicked on the gear icon. View, edit, guild description, hide guild name on your nameplate, open guild ward list, leave the guild. Oh, okay, some guild options in there. There's no options on this one. I don't think there's any on here. Nope, no options on that. So yeah, so that's it. So here's the other thing. If you've played Ultima Online or you come from a different game, inside this game there are recall and teleport scrolls. And they work different than Ultima did. Teleport scroll is a key one. It kind of acts as your universal transport. And when you use a teleport scroll, and I may not have the skills to do this. Yes, I do. You teleport to players. You can only teleport to players that are A, online, B, are in your friends list, and C, are in an area you can teleport to. If they're down in a dungeon, you can't teleport to them. Just the way it goes. But here are some folks here. I could go to Crossroads, which is our hometown. Novia is on the overland map, or Desolus is the town of Desolus over in the far east side, the desert area. I could click on one of them and say teleport. So your friends list becomes very important from a teleporting perspective. It's kind of like your marker book. You teleport to players, so the more players you have in your list, the better. So I always wait for people to say hello, add as friends, they meet people, I always add them in, and it just makes it a lot easier to get around sometimes. So the bigger I have, the more chance I have of finding someone at or near the place I want to go to. If there's no one on your friends list that's there, then you have to walk. And if it's on the other side of the world, well, then you walk to the other side of the world. Sounds bad. It's not that far to walk in a game in that. So your friends list becomes very important from not only from a social aspect, but becomes important from a teleporting aspect. Recalls have nothing to do with it. Recalls, in the game, you can bind your character to a spot, your house, a bank, a town crier, a particular town where you're leveling out, whatever else. And when you recall, you'll always recall to that bound spot, and you only can have one bound spot at a time. You can change it. I went from this town to that town, and you can do that, and that makes it usable there. So that was it. So that's the basic mechanics on the friends and all that, kind of how it plays and how it can impact, especially from a teleporting perspective. It's a social game. Be social. You'll hear people as you get to know and talk to people. They'll be asking you things. Elaina gets a lot of questions from the videos like this and whatnot from the guild, and people always ask me, hey, do you know where this is, or how do I do this, or can you help me, or can you come join the guild and whatnot. So yeah, it's a key aspect from the social aspect of the game. So that was it. If you had comments or questions, please throw them on the video, a thumbs up or thumbs down. It's Elaina Strongbow from SodaTutorials.com as Eleanor. At the end, the video is going to pop up, previous video in the series. Below that is going to be a link to the SodaTutorials.com website, what I've been doing, what I will be doing, what I'm up to. Picture of me in the fairy wings. If you're liking the content here, please click on that and subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much. Have a good one.